What's up, guys? How we doing today? Doing pretty well. Today, I'm going to share with you some actual placements I've gotten, which libraries licensed the music to these shows, and what styles of music they are. Not a lot of people do this, so I'd like to give some insight to some people who are trying to get in the business or people who are in the business. If you're trying to get a certain placements, this might help you attain that. All right, so I have pulled up my cue sheets in my PRO dashboard, and I also have pulled up my IMDb just so I can reference it all. So let's get started. I'm gonna mostly mention like American shows, but we'll probably talk about some other ones because those are the ones that you guys will know, I'm assuming. Start with some of the more reputable ones, I guess. Yeah, it's November of 2024, and in October of 2024, I just found out that I had music on the show Law and Order on NBC. I'm sure you're all familiar with that show. That was licensed through APM Library, and the type of music was stomp and clap rock. So that's from a full album that I did for one library. Let me find some other placements that were from that same album, the stomp and clap rock. The NFL draft, I've had two NFL draft placements in 2022, 2023. The show Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, which is on the Food Network. If I get back to the stomp and clap stuff, then I'll let you know if that's what it is. But let's just kind of go through what I have. For baseball, the Chicago Cubs, they use a ton of my music, which is an album that I did for another APM library. It is electro sports rock, we called it. So it's like electronic meets rock, just electronic beats and stuff with heavy guitars. So the Chicago Cubs, hundreds of different games, have used like 3 tracks to be precise from that album. The Real Housewives of New Jersey, that was an independent library that's based in the US, so they don't sub-publish through APM, Universal, or anything like that. And the same library got me 2023 People's Choice Country Awards. I'm not going to tell you these specific independent libraries because I don't want people to go knocking on the doors to harass these libraries and tell them that I sent you because I don't want them to get mad at me or whatever. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, another one that was through APM, an APM library. Me and Mickey, so that's a Mickey Mouse short show. It's like probably in between episodes on the Disney Channel or whatever. That was a classical guitar album I did for another APM library. The Country Music Awards one, by the way, that was country music. I will tell you a specific independent library. So the show Pawn Stars, I've had quite a bit of music on there, a variety of styles, including some just classic rock type stuff, some actually Italian acoustic-y music. That library was Mibe, which I don't recommend working with anymore because if you saw my last video, they take half the writer share now. So back when I wrote this music and had to deal with them, and when I was still working with them, it was you get the full writer share, which is what it's supposed to be. So yeah, they would get some placements on those like mid-tier cable stuff, Pawn Stars. They actually got something on SpongeBob for me too, which was like a COVID era SpongeBob episode, and it was a surf rock music. Not a typical episode of SpongeBob, but it was like the cast members on screen like acting out some of their favorite scenes or whatever. But yeah, and there was also a SpongeBob promo from them. TV series Eva Longoria, Searching for Mexico. That's on, I believe, NBC. That I had a few episodes of that placed through Universal Music. What else do we got? Okay, so I have a bunch of car shows and mechanic shows and stuff on the Motor Trend Network. Hot Rod Garage is one. Faster with Finnegan. Faster with Newbern and Cotton. Car Fix, My Dream Car. Those are all from a certain independent library, and I'm sure they just have like a blanket deal with this library, so they might even like exclusively use that library's music for a lot of this stuff. And some of that is like classic rock, punk that I had some on there. There's a show Magnum PI. It was on CBS. It's now on NBC, and I've placed music on at least 3 episodes. So 2 in the CBS days and 1 episode in the NBC era. I did an album for one library on APM, kind of like calm Hawaiian acoustic island type music. So that got 3 placements on Magnum PI so far, maybe more. Another one, there's a show, Seven Little Johnstons. I'd have to look it up. That might just be like on a Netflix or one of those streaming services. That was through a Warner Chapel library. And the music was, I think it was like just happy ukulele stuff that I did a while back. I also have like more music with APM than I do with some of the other ones, which probably explains why so much of it is APM. But let's continue. There's more than just that stuff. Rangers Insider, that's just like a baseball program for the Rangers. That was another Warner Chapel placement. The show MILF Manor was an independent library. Girl Meets Farm, I've had at least 3 or 4 episodes of that. That's on the Food Network. And that was through another independent library. $1 Million Listing, Los Angeles. 3 episodes, all independent library. And that music was the country music? I don't remember exactly. Holidaying with Jane McDonald. That's a show in the UK. Gotten some stuff from that through Universal. That's happy ukulele stuff. I have some happy ukulele stuff with a few different libraries. There was like an era where I was doing a lot of that type of music. And as long as I'm thinking of that, there's a library in Denmark that I work with. They got me a couple placements on NASCAR. We did like an 80s rock album, my brother and I. Okay, so they sub-published through Atomica Music. Please don't spam these libraries, guys. I'm just trying to share the info. I'm purposely not being that specific. Okay, the show Snapped on the Oxygen channel. I've gotten a few episodes of that. That was like tension music specifically for a certain brief. 2 episodes of that. That was through an independent library. Also, I should have mentioned the MIB placements. That was all briefs. So it wasn't like I did a full album for them. If you write music for a brief, there's a good chance it'll get used, and fairly quickly in a lot of cases. Okay, the funniest adverts on the planet. That was from I did like a happy commercial album with my brother a few years back. Kind of like ukulele and bells and some acoustic guitar and claps and stuff like that. That was a BMG library. Aside from even some TV, I'll get back to some TV too, but I've had a couple radio commercial, well, one radio commercial and one internet commercial. Both APM library. That I think was also the Stomp and Clap Rock. The Stomp and Clap Rock, the Happy Ukulele, those are some good styles. And I also have done quite a bit of those styles too. So if you do more of it, it's no surprise that you're going to get more placements with it, especially if you spread them out to different libraries and stuff. Wheeler Dealers, that's another one. Car Show, independent library. As far as international, I don't know like what shows are that popular or whatever, but some good payments I've gotten. There's a show in Germany that I got, like, actually a few shows in Germany that have gotten me several hundred for back-end royalties for, like, per statement. One of the shows was, it translates to location. It's called Billigenhead. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but good paying. It was like 200 at least for the first airing of that. That was through Universal. I think it was classical guitar. An independent library that I work with, which is in Denmark. They've gotten me a lot of placements on a certain morning breakfast television show. The show is called Frühstück Fernsehen, and it translates to breakfast television. I get placements all the time with Happy Ukulele on there. And sometimes they use it for like 6 minutes per episode or something, even though it's like a less than a 2-minute track. There's a couple Netflix shows that I've had recently. They're like Japanese or Chinese or something, but they were through a Warner Chapel library. TMZ, I've had at least 4 episodes of that. Independent library. Well, actually, they used to be through BMG and I think Megatrax, but no longer with those, so that's independent now. I'm going to assume that it was independent at the time that it was licensed. So sometimes the libraries will change their sub-publishers if they're not happy with their situation. Lincoln Divided We Stand, that was through MIB. That was a short documentary series. I don't remember what type of music it was, though, but it was definitely for a brief. More NFL draft stuff, the Path to the Draft, which was another APM thing. NBC Sports Special. I think that was APM. I got a cue sheet once for a YouTube short, but that's not going to get any money. You'd have to get like the content ID royalties, I would assume. That was an independent library, though, for what it's worth. Fox NFL Sunday. That was happy ukulele music. Actually, a pretty good payment that I got. And I had to chase down the cue sheet. Yeah, good payment. Universal Music. Licensed it there. And you figure it was a weird segment. They were baking cakes. It was using happy ukulele music. And the song was called actually Baking the Bread, which I think that when they were searching for the music, they just typed in like baking or something. So I'm sure that that's how they found that one. Yeah, guys. And in general, like Warner Chappell's gotten me, I guess, like more streaming service placements and international and stuff. APM gets a lot of sports. Independent libraries, they get a variety of things, but especially lower or mid-tier cable stuff. Universal gets a variety of things. So that's a lot of what I have on here. And international, that's a whole different can of worms I could open up. But I don't know the names of the shows and stuff, so I can't exactly speak intelligently about them. I think I mentioned the NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. That was that Happy Island acoustic stuff that I did. I did a full album of that. And that was actually, that same music was on the CW, the show Right This Minute. And I've gotten some on Right This Minute through Universal as well. Yeah, I mean, I think that's enough for you guys to chew on. Let me know if you guys find this helpful. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.